Congratulations on the film, Mr. Joel.
Thank you.
I loving. It's true, and it just caught you. It gripped you, and at the end, you're like, you submit to their story.
Yeah.
I love that. Were you familiar with the story of the Lovings before you did the film?
No, I wasn't. And this is one of the great things about the movie, you know, finally coming out, is it hopefully is going to put Richard and Mildred's names in the mouths of people and in people's minds. But I was shocked that very few people knew about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a timely story too.
Yeah, but I suspect the reason we don't know so much about Richard and Mildred is because their story was a long, oppressive period, 9 years of being unable to be free. But it wasn't marked by newsworthy events of murder and rioting and bloodshed, you know. So I think for that reason it never really emerged in the news as a big story. But it is a big story.
You disappeared in the role, Mr. Joel. I was like, we were watching the story of Richard Loving, we're not watching you act.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome. How did you attack that character? How, you know,
well,
portraying him?
Ruth and I both had access to this archival footage that, extra footage as well, but Nancy Bursky's documentary, The Loving Story. And we could see them move and talk and interact with the children, and it gave a perfect kind of, you know, direct line for us to create those characters. And then the difficult thing, or the interesting thing, was then creating that relationship, which I'd never really thought about as much, but the space between the two of them.
Right, because it's just not you, it's just not Ruth, it's both of you.
Yeah.
How did you create that palpable chemistry? Or did you, I mean, you really can't create it, but how did you spark that?
We really liked each other, Ruth and I, and we knew we were having the privilege of telling the story together, you know, with Jeff as our daddy, you know, that we were carrying something very precious. And I think we both fell in love with our characters so much, and saw it as very important and precious.
What's the most challenge that the role gave you?
Ooh, I think dealing with silence.
Really?
You know, like really being specific about what was going on when Richard was thinking but not speaking.
And that's the hardest part.
Was one of the hardest things.
How can you convey that, right? What he's thinking.
Well, you see him in the documentary, and his eyes were always darting around, and it always seemed to me like he was almost like he was looking for an escape.
Wow.
But at the same time, he had so much to say, but he wasn't talking.
Real quick, knowing what you know now about Richard Loving, how do you think he would think if he sees the film?
He would be probably hiding like this and may not even turn up to the premiere. He was so shy when you watch the footage. I mean, obviously I don't know him, but I feel like I know him well now. But he was so shy. He didn't like cameras. He would definitely not be doing this interview with you.
Darn it. But you'll do.
I'll do it for him.
You'll do. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Joel.